Have you ever stopped to think about what really exists beyond our planet? I'm not just talking about the sun and the moon, but everything beyond that, in the vast and infinite universe. Colossal galaxies, stars that are born and die in spectacular ways, black holes that defy physics. Astronomy gives us answers, but it also raises even more intriguing questions. The problem is that many people see this subject as something distant, complicated, almost inaccessible. But what if I told you that understanding the basics of the universe can be simpler and much more fascinating than you imagine? Today, you will discover how astronomers measure absurd distances, how the sun keeps everything under control, and even how anyone can contribute to new discoveries. With each passing minute, the universe continues to expand, and with it, our knowledge about everything around us. So stick around, because what you're about to learn might make you see the sky with new eyes. If you've ever looked up at the night sky and been amazed by that infinite ocean of stars, know that you're not alone. Since time immemorial, humanity has gazed at the universe, trying to understand how it works. But what exactly does astronomy study? Well, everything beyond our atmosphere. Stars, planets, black holes, distant galaxies, and even the invisible matter that makes up most of the cosmos. The science behind it is fascinating, and believe me, there's much more than meets the eye. Astronomy isn't just about what shines in the sky. There's a true cosmic puzzle involving unimaginable forces, colossal collisions, and a constantly evolving universe. For example, did you know that one galaxy can swallow another? Yes, it happens all the time. And what about dark matter? It makes up most of the universe, yet no one knows exactly what it is. Astronomy invites us to explore the vastness of the universe and expand our understanding of science and the reality around us. And if you think you've seen it all, wait until you discover the grandeur of our very own cosmic backyard, the solar system. At its center, the sun reigns supreme, surrounded by intriguing worlds that hold astonishing secrets. Want to know more? When looking at the sky, it's easy to forget that the bright ball of fire warming and illuminating us is actually just an ordinary star among billions of others. The sun is not only the center of the solar system, but also the engine that keeps everything in motion. Its gravity holds the planets in orbit, its energy sustains life on Earth, and its solar storms can even interfere with our communication systems. But what really makes the sun so special? Simple. Without it, life as we know it wouldn't exist. Around it, 8 planets follow well-defined paths, each with its own unique characteristics. Mercury, the closest, scorches during the day and freezes at night. Venus, with its suffocating atmosphere, is even hotter than Mercury, despite being farther from the sun. Mars, our reddish neighbor, was once covered by rivers and oceans. And of course, there are the gas giants, Jupiter and Saturn, true cosmic titans, not to mention Uranus and Neptune, the icy worlds that still hold many mysteries. But planets are just part of the story. There are exotic moons, asteroids drifting through space, and comets traveling like messengers from the past. Each of these celestial bodies has something to teach us about the formation of the universe. And if you think all of this is already incredible, just wait until you learn how humans began to explore the sky and revolutionize science with astonishing discoveries. Long before telescopes and satellites, the sky was already a fascinating mystery for humankind. Ancient civilizations, such as the Babylonians, Egyptians, and Mayans, used the positions of the stars to predict seasons and create calendars. The Greeks, on the other hand, began searching for rational explanations for celestial phenomena. Aristotle believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, and this idea dominated thought for centuries. But as we now know, the universe does not revolve around us. In fact, we are just a tiny speck among billions of galaxies. It was only in the 16th century that Nicholas Copernicus challenged this view and proposed that the Earth orbits the sun, not the other way around. This idea was further supported by Galileo Galilei, who, using a rudimentary telescope, observed moons orbiting Jupiter, proving that not everything revolved around the Earth. His discoveries revolutionized science, but also led to conflicts with the church at the time. The price of knowledge is often resistance to the new. Over time, discoveries multiplied, Newton explained gravity, Einstein redefined time and space, and today we have telescopes that can see billions of years into the past. But how do we measure these absurd distances? After all, when talking about the universe, thinking in kilometers is not enough. We need a much larger unit. If you thought driving across a country was a long journey, try imagining measuring the universe. Here, we don't talk in meters or kilometers. These units simply aren't enough. That's why astronomers use the light year, which is the distance light travels in 1 year, about 9.46 trillion kilometers. Yes, trillions. And yet, in the grand scale of the universe, that's practically a backyard stroll. To put things into perspective, the closest star to the Sun, Proxima Centauri, is 4.3 light-years away. That means if a spacecraft could travel at the speed of light, which for now is impossible for us, it would still take over 4 years to reach it. Now think about galaxies. The Milky Way is about 100,000 light-years in diameter, and our closest neighbor, Andromeda, is 2.5 million light-years away. In other words, when we look at Andromeda in the sky, we're seeing it as it was 2.5 million years ago. This immense scale completely changes the way we perceive reality. And speaking of change, something even more astonishing is happening. The universe is not static. It is expanding, and this has mind-blowing implications for the past and the future of everything that exists. If you think of the universe as something fixed and unchanging, get ready for a surprise. It is expanding all the time. This groundbreaking discovery came in the 20th century when astronomer Edwin Hubble realized that galaxies were moving away from each other. In other words, the farther a galaxy is from us, the faster it is receding. This means that in the past, everything was much closer together, leading to the theory of the Big Bang. The Big Bang wasn't an ordinary explosion, but rather the moment when the entire universe, once concentrated in a microscopic point, began to expand. This happened approximately 13.8 billion years ago, and since then, the cosmos hasn't stopped growing. And do you know what's even more intriguing? The expansion is accelerating, as if some mysterious force is stretching space. Scientists call this dark energy, but to be honest, no one knows exactly what it is. Now, if the universe had a beginning, could it also have an end? Stars, for example, are born and die, each with its own life cycle. Some simply fade away, while others explode in spectacular fashion. But what happens next? Well, some turn into something incredibly dense and powerful. Stars may seem immortal, but the truth is they are born, shine for billions of years, and eventually die. It all begins in massive clouds of gas and dust scattered throughout the universe. Under the force of gravity, these particles start clumping together until they form a hot, dense ball, a new star. Our own sun was born this way about 4.6 billion years ago, and still has enough fuel to burn for at least another 5 billion years. But not all stars share the same fate. Smaller ones, like red dwarfs, burn slowly and can last for trillions of years. Giant stars, on the other hand, live fast and die in explosive ways. Some end their lives as white dwarfs, small, dense remnants, while others explode in supernovas, scattering elements essential for the formation of new planets and even life itself. And the most massive stars? They leave no trace behind, collapsing into black holes, objects so dense that not even light can escape. This cycle of stellar birth and death is crucial for the formation of galaxies and even for the existence of planets like Earth. But what keeps all of this in order? What prevents everything from spiraling into chaos? The answer lies in one of the most powerful and mysterious forces in the universe. If we're firmly planted on the ground and not floating through space, we have gravity to thank. This invisible force is responsible for keeping planets in orbit around the sun, moons revolving around planets, and even galaxies bound together. Without it, the universe would be pure chaos, with celestial bodies drifting aimlessly through space. But gravity doesn't act the same way everywhere. The greater the mass of an object, the stronger its gravitational pull. That's why Earth can hold the moon in orbit but isn't strong enough to capture Mars. Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, has dozens of moons because its gravity is much more powerful. And when it comes to extreme force, Nothing compares to the gravity of black holes, where everything is pulled in with no chance of escape. Einstein showed that gravity isn't just a force, but rather a curvature in the fabric of space-time. Imagine a trampoline. If you place a heavy ball in the center, the surface bends. Now, if you roll a smaller ball nearby, it will be drawn toward the center. The same thing happens in the universe, but on an unimaginable scale. To better understand this dynamic, astronomers have developed incredible tools that allow us to observe the cosmos with astonishing precision. If our eyes could see beyond the visible spectrum, we would witness a universe far more vibrant and dynamic. Fortunately, humanity has created instruments to do just that: telescopes. These devices expand our vision of the cosmos, revealing details that would be impossible to detect with the naked eye. The first telescope was pointed at the sky by Galileo Galilei in the 17th century. And since then, technology has advanced to the point where we can observe galaxies billions of light years away. The Hubble Space Telescope, launched in 1990, revolutionized our understanding of the universe, capturing breathtaking images of nebulae, star clusters, and black holes. But it's not alone. The James Webb Space Telescope, its more advanced successor, allows us to see even the earliest moments of the cosmos by analyzing infrared light from objects formed shortly after the Big Bang. These telescopes, along with radio telescopes and observatories scattered across the world, serve as windows into deep space. However, we don't always need sophisticated equipment to explore the sky. Since ancient times, civilizations have used star patterns to tell stories and even navigate the open seas. Constellations, besides being beautiful, were essential for navigation and for understanding the universe long before the age of telescopes. Long before GPS and compasses, humans already knew how to find their way. Just by looking at the sky, constellations, those patterns of stars forming imaginary figures, were essential for navigation and played a key role in the cultures of various civilizations. The Egyptians, for example, aligned their pyramids with certain stars, while European sailors used the North Star as a reference to avoid getting lost at sea. Each culture saw different figures in the stars. The Greeks created myths around them, naming constellations like Orion, the Hunter, and Andromeda, the celestial princess. Meanwhile, indigenous peoples in Brazil interpreted these formations in an entirely different way, seeing animals and spirits instead of Greek gods. But beyond their beauty and stories, constellations were precise tools for measuring time, predicting seasons, and guiding entire civilizations. Today, with advanced technology, we no longer rely on the stars to travel the world. However, amateur astronomy remains a fascinating field where anyone can contribute to new discoveries. And believe it or not, even without a high-tech lab, amateur astronomers have made incredible findings, proving that exploring the universe isn't just for professional scientists. Many people think that only scientists with PhDs can make astronomical discoveries, but the truth is that amateur astronomers have contributed greatly to science. With a simple home telescope, anyone can observe planets, identify comets, and even discover new stars. That's exactly how, in 1995, an amateur astronomer named Thomas Bopp discovered the Hale-Bopp comet, one of the brightest of the 20th century. Beyond individual observations, there are citizen science projects where ordinary people help scientists analyze astronomical data. Platforms like Zooniverse allow volunteers to identify exoplanets or classify galaxies, contributing to cutting-edge research without even leaving their homes. With today's technology, anyone can explore the universe and actively participate in the quest for knowledge. And now that we've covered the basics of astronomy, one big question remains. What else is the universe hiding? If you think you've seen it all, wait until you uncover the deepest mysteries of the cosmos, like gigantic black holes that defy everything we know.
If there's one thing astronomy teaches us, it's that there's always more to discover. The universe is vast, filled with mysteries that challenge our understanding. And the more we learn, the more we realize how little we actually know. But what if I told you that there are phenomena even more astonishing than everything we've talked about so far? Imagine an abyss so dense and powerful that nothing, not even light, can escape. Black holes are among the greatest enigmas of the universe, and there is one that defies everything scientists have ever imagined. the largest black hole in the universe. What makes it so special? How did it form? And could it swallow everything around it? If you want to keep exploring the secrets of the cosmos, check out the previous video about the largest black hole in the universe. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any content about everything that exists beyond our world.